Now it is time for President Trump to start kicking, start punching. Sanction on everybody.
We saw the video, the new axis of evil, as they're calling it, met in Beijing. So Xi Jinping put on a really big military parade to greet his partners in crime, Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un. Now, the CCP was showing off some new weaponry, some laser weapons, nuclear ballistic missiles, robotic wolves. The day ended apparently with a musical gala. Because what dictator doesn't love song, dance, and poetry?
You know, a lot of people think it's a game until it's time to get drafted because America is at war. We have a Democratic Party that is wasting the taxpayers' money fighting for illegal migrants, a Democratic Party that is wasting time discussing why men should be able to use women's bathroom, while our enemies right in front of our eyes are plotting to destroy this country. At this point, it is fair to say the Democratic Party is the biggest threat America faces today. The last time this country was really united was after 9/11. And now we get to a point where you find people burning American flags in the streets in America.
Meanwhile, President Trump is not in the partying mood and posted a message for the three amigos, sending his warmest regards as they conspire against the United States.
They were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two.
Let me tell you something, guys. If we keep wasting time on nonsense instead of focusing on things that really matter, in the next 20, not even 20, in the next 15 years, the US dollar will lose its spot as the world's trading currency. And you know what that means? That means if the US dollar is no longer the world's trading currency, that means the United States of America can collapse and the rest of the world will be okay.
We helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom. But perhaps that was just a sleight of hand.
For years, many countries have been moving away from the US dollar. While here at home, we are wasting time fighting for Israel. We are wasting time fighting for Ukraine. We are wasting time fighting for illegal migrants. Again, the enemies are looking at us. The enemies are amongst us.
And if he seems ticked off at Xi, it appears he's even more upset with Putin.
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen.
Let's be real, guys. It is time for sanction. President Trump did what he had to do. He gave Putin enough time. He gave Putin a nice welcome to the United States of America. Honestly, I would say Putin played President Trump. Now it's time for strong sanctions, strong action, sanctions against India, sanctions against Russia, sanctions against China. It is time to start kicking.
Here to react to all of this, Victoria Coates, Heritage Foundation's National Security and Foreign Policy Advisor. She was also Deputy National Security Advisor in Trump 1. Victoria, look, it's obviously what's going on here. China is feeling the Trump tariffs and feeling it really hard. We see slowdowns, manufacturing slowdowns. Russia is feeling the pinch from this ongoing war. They're trying to band together to box out the United States, now under Donald Trump.
During Biden administration, over 50,000 of Chinese nationals crossed the border. Why? We don't know why. But one thing we know for damn sure, it is not good news for America. And that's why I say President Biden, Kamala Harris, they should be investigated to see if there's any link with China.
I was doing some math earlier, which isn't the easiest thing for me, but I was trying to total up the GDPs that were represented in Beijing today, which was Kazakhstan, it was Russia, it was Belarus, it was North Korea, it was China, and they came in, if I gave them the benefit of the doubt, at about 22 trillion, 19 of which is China. And then I was thinking about the net worth that was represented in the Oval Office a couple of weeks ago with the president between the EU, the UK, and the United States, and that's north of 50 trillion. So I think those are the numbers that count, that you have a massive dominance in the economic sphere by the United States. As you said, both China and Russia are hurting. I think that is the leverage the president has kept over these past weeks, and that's what he's going to deploy if he has to.
Although GDP is a big factor, however, GDP, you having the biggest GDP does not mean automatically, oh, you're gonna be winning a war. But lucky for us in America, we have the strongest military in the world. Of course, that matters. But talking about GDP like that, once you have the biggest GDP, then you have nothing to worry about. I think you underestimate the problem. You are underestimating the enemies.
If Putin won't see reason, come to the table and make a reasonable deal to end the killing in Ukraine.
People are talking about the hot mic comment that was caught. They caught a few remarks from Putin about living forever. Watch.
In the past, people rarely lived longer than 70 years. But today, they say that at 70, you are still a child.
Human organs can be continuously transplanted. The longer you live, the younger you become, and can even achieve immortality.
Well, first of all, Putin headed up the KGB. So anyone who thinks that that was a hot mic, I mean, I shouldn't have described it that way. He knew exactly what he was saying, and he knew it was going to be picked up on microphone. For anyone who doesn't understand how the KGB operated for decades and decades and still does, they didn't get that. But what did you make of that? That was sending a message to everyone out there, was it not?
That was pretty incredible. And I think, not surprisingly, both Putin and Xi recently turned 70, so suddenly they're fixated on their mortality. And you literally have them conspiring to be dictators, not just for life, but for all eternity. And this is pretty ghoulish, Laura, to have somebody who purports to be a Orthodox Christian like Putin saying he's going to harvest organs to fool God and live forever. It's just it gives you a little window into their world, to the way they see power and the way they treat both the Chinese people and the Russian people.
Yeah.
That's one advantage they have over America, because they don't respect the human's life. So any experiment they want to do, they'll just go in the street, take some random people, random kid, random elders, random women, and just do those experiments. While in America, we can't really do it like that. We can't do that. We do, because of humans' right. But now, maybe it's a good thing. Nonetheless, it is an advantage these countries have over America, because they can experiment all their craziness, while here we cannot. Now, I'm not advocating for us in America to be able to do those experiments on humans. That's not what I'm saying, but you get my point. By the way, guys, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a like so the algorithm can pick this video so we can grow this channel.
China's long suspected to be harvesting organs from prisoners. And what I think this brings up is, why be in any rush to do any deal with China? We know what China wants to do. Let them cool their jets. They want to play this game. We should play it on our side. I wouldn't do any deal with China.
And what hurts the most, guys, is the fact that the United States is one of the main reasons China is becoming so powerful. We are China's biggest customer by far. We have too many greedy corporations here in America that only care about profit. They keep sending jobs overseas, pumping out low-quality products from China, at the same time destroying American manufacturing.
Live from the North Lawn. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Brett. A new world order is forming. Across President Trump's 2 terms, he has had direct diplomacy with President Xi and President Putin and Kim Jong-un. But today, all 3 of those leaders teamed up for a show of force against the United States.
That hurts, guys. That hurts a lot. That was a slap to President Trump, and I'm mad. I am mad, especially after President Trump just gave Putin a warm welcome to the United States, and then he goes and do that to the president. That was a slap in the face. And now it is time for President Trump to start kicking, start punching. Sanction on everybody. Sanction on India. Sanction on Russia. Sanction on everybody.
The weakness of the previous administration has driven Russia and China closer together. That was a terrible development of a lack of American leadership and a lack of of American strength.
China's military might was on full display in Tiananmen Square as 10,000 Chinese troops marched in formation alongside nuclear weapons, hypersonic missiles, and even robot wolves.
Thanks to President Biden. President Biden always saying Russia is the biggest threat America faces. Russia is the biggest threat America faces. And he never talked about China. That's why I'm telling you, man. We need to check to see if Biden sold the country away to China.
Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un were among 26 world leaders in the stands. President Trump was not invited.
Never even thought it wouldn't have been my place to be there.
But President Trump is watching and waiting for Vladimir Putin to stop his Ukraine offensive. Putin claimed today Russia is advancing on all fronts and that he'd meet with Zelensky if he'll come to Moscow. President Trump plans to phone Zelensky tomorrow.
Zelensky is not that dumb to go to Russia and meet President Putin. Zelensky is not that naive. Come on, bro. And that also shows Putin is not serious in his negotiation. For Putin to say, oh, I will meet with Zelensky only if he comes to Russia. Obviously, Putin is saying, I'm not interested in meeting with Zelensky.
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand.
China's Xi appears less concerned about Putin's continued assault on Ukraine, agreeing to move forward with a massive Russia to China pipeline called Power of Siberia 2.
There is no charity here, not on either side. These are mutually beneficial agreements.
There is no charity here, but America, we spend hundreds of billions of dollars giving out money to everybody, every country, from the Caribbean to Africa to Europe. It's like, no, it's time to protect America. It's time to protect Americans. There's no charity here. There's no reason why you're sending $100 billion to Israel. What are you getting from it?
That is a fascinating, one-of-a-kind window into the world of two 72-year-old world leaders without term limits trying to game out, according to Xi's translator, how to live as long as 150 years old. Right.
That is quite something. Peter, what about the Abraham Accords? Why are they in danger of possibly falling apart tonight?
If Israel decides in coming weeks and months to annex parts of the West Bank, then the UAE is telling White House officials that the Abraham Accords could fall apart, according to a report that is just crossing in Axios. It sounds like UAE diplomats are trying to talk President Trump into talking Netanyahu out of the idea of annexing any of the West Bank. And if he can do that, then the thought is that President Trump may be able to accomplish his goal of expanding the Abraham Accord.
This should be a wake-up call to America. This should be a wake-up call to both the Republican and the Democratic Party to come together and fight the enemies. We cannot be spending all our resources fighting ourselves. This is not smart. It is time to unite and fight the enemy. Now, I know it's difficult for us Republicans to unite with Democrats and fight the enemies because on things that are common sense, the Democrats, they are not even able to accept. They are not able to define what a woman is. From there, it's hard to even move forward. However, we're going to have to do our best and come together. We cannot continue to live like that, guys, because not only we have a bunch of these Chinese nationals, Russian nationals that are living in America, listening to our conversation. They are in our schools, they are in our businesses, they are in our neighborhoods, they are everywhere. So they know what we are doing, and we just continue to fight nonsensical things, So again, guys, this is the greatest country in the world, America. We have to protect it. We have to protect it, and it starts now. It starts now. This is a wake-up call. As always, thanks for watching. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Whether you disagree with me, you can still leave a comment as I continue to create more and better content and call out the nonsense. Call out the ridiculousness from the Democratic Party, because this is America. We have to protect it, and may God bless you. May God bless the United States of America.